Okay, this is pretty much the first, and I might do a series of this. I don't think so though. I am pretty much here to present an exploit today, and it's a pretty major exploit that's very useful. But first of all, it works from versions 1.0.30 to versions 1.0.32. In 1.0.33, they gave us they made a workaround that makes us not nearly as valuable anymore. Okay. So, this exploit is called the CTA Cancel. And I'm just going to demonstrate that as any nation works, really. I'm just going to demonstrate it I'm just going to demonstrate it as Poland dowing into the HIE, for example. First of all, it only works in Iron Man as well. What is the CTA Cancel? It is basically a way for you to avoid the allies of your enemy. And it requires a bit of timing, a bit of practice as well, and it is, unless you're really good at it, it is not viable for RTA, for example. And I'm just gonna spy on this guy real quick. Should have started right there, but oh well. It doesn't work in stab hitting war declarations either, sadly, but in normal wars it works. So how does it work? Basically, the idea behind it is you declare on a nation, right, that is allied to a bunch of stuff, like this one here, like Brandenburg in this example, and then you put up this window, right, and you can close the game whenever you want by pressing C. So the idea is you down the war, and there is a small time window of where you have the game has register. The game has sees that you have declared the war, right? But it did not call in the allies of the enemy yet. So you want to down, and the second you see that the down went through, you want to instantly close the game by pressing C. Do not Alt F4. It doesn't work. The only reason this works is because this makes a save. Technically, that strategy works on 1.0.33 as well. And I'll demonstrate it in a second how it works and what are a few ways to see if you got it or not. Okay. One moment for the Spider-Man. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I'm quickly gonna take a backup of the save. This is a bit risky because there's two ways in which you can fail. So you can press C too early. In that case, the declaration of war just doesn't go through and it's fine. You can just try again. But if you're too late, you will now fight the enemy with all of his allies. Right? So it can be quite costly if you fail it in a bad moment. Okay. Then, what are a few ways to see if you got it? Or maybe helps a bit with the timing. You pretty much cut off the DAO sound. And I quickly need to back up the save. If you're just using this for a normal campaign, just back up the save before. If you're using this for speed running, you unfortunately have only one shot, because even for save scum ones, we only allow continuing from the autosave, and the autosave is after you declare the war. So if you fail it in an actual speed run, your one might be dead. Okay, so the idea is you down, and you might be able to hear my keyboard and stuff, but the idea is once I press confirm, I instantly hit C. So like that. And that might have failed that the DAO was a bit long. And now now you can just continue from the autosave. Two things. This does not count as a save scum because you do not go back any days. Right? You are continuing right from where you left off. So it's even allowed in RTAs, but it costs too much time for most RTAs to be viable. When is this useful? Is the main reason why I'm making this video is because I used this. Yeah, here you see. It's only Brandenburg, and it should have called in Austria and other people as well. I'll do it a few more times so you can maybe see the timing, but it's hard to explain. You kind of have to get a feel for it, and it really depends on how fast your computer is. The faster your computer, the harder this is actually. Okay, I'm gonna do this once more. Why am I even showing this off in this much detail? I used it in a recent speedrun for the monthly competition, so I kind of feel like I should explain it. And there I used it to avoid fighting Ming when down with Yukio. So, let's quickly move the save file back. Once again, what I'm doing right now, so manually moving the save file is not something you're allowed to do in a speedrun, right? Especially not in a non-birding one, but even in a birding one, it's not really allowed. Oh well, I don't get the CB now. Wait, okay. So once more, you click exit game. Very important. It has to be exit game. It can't be exit to menu. Exit game. Put it somewhere where you can see it. Open this. Make sure you have a CB. It doesn't work on a static piece deal, as you can see. Which is because if you were to just do this, you would get this pop-up, and the pop-up just doesn't show up. So, it doesn't work on static piece deals. Only on ones where you actually have a wobble. Okay. So, you press confirm, and pretty much instantly after you press C. There are a few methods to achieve this. If I remember correctly, Lambda had one where he just spammed C. I have one where I just time it. But this just needs to practice to get consistent at. Okay, and I know I got that one because that's the second way to see if you got it. The enemies, the forts and armies of your potential enemies that you want to CTA cancel, so you don't want to get them in the war, is lighting up. Also, my EU4 is not opening up for now. Yeah, okay. What did I do in 133 to fix this? Pretty simple. They just made it allowed AIs to call in allies, even after the initial dial. The only reason this works is in 130, 131, and 132, AIs will never call the allies to a war right after, except for right after the declaration of war. In 133, they will call in the allies like 3 months in or something. So you can still get a brief moment where you don't have the allies in the war, and if you are able to get, I think, 33% war score, I'm pretty sure it is, on the main target in 1 or 2 months, which is hard to do but doable in a few regions, then you can still use this, because then they can't call in their allies anymore. Okay, either way, I hope this was somewhat useful, and I hope this gets more people into speedrunning and maybe also more people into using a few more risky and exploity strats during speedrunning.